So in my previous video where I kind of just took us through a brief rundown on everything that had happened between the Roblox YouTuber known as Jeremy and the staff team for the Roblox game known as Adopt Me, I tried my absolute best to remain neutral in the situation and made it a point that I didn't feel all that comfortable with taking sides, but in some areas it was slightly more difficult to actually remain in the middle because some things said and done really didn't sit right with me. But all that aside, in that video I stated that Jeremy hadn't put out an official response as of the time that I was recording that video, but he just continued to throw out some tweets here and there and just addressed a few little bits at a time and in a rather confusing order. But overall I said that doing this would probably just continue to hurt himself and others, and that I personally saw his best option would be creating and putting out an official response. Lo and behold, when I woke up this morning, I had many people sending me the link to a video from Jeremy called The Adopt Me Experience (Roblox). Now, had you guys not told me that this is him responding to Adopt Me and everything that they had claimed, I probably would have just seen this as another normal Adopt Me video, but I haven't watched this video prior to making this video, so I guess you guys get my genuine initial reaction to what is about to be said, and his video is literally over 25 minutes long, so I will probably cut out a few parts that I don't see necessary to show and comment on. First of all, the biggest thing I noticed, and apparently what everyone in the comments noticed as well, is that he's playing Arsenal for this video, and pushing everything aside, I'm kinda here for it. The first ever time I played Arsenal in a video was literally 3 years ago, and over time it seems like Arsenal just accidentally became the sole commentary video background.
In the last video, I got a lot of comments and dislikes asking me to acknowledge the Adopt Me video that they made about me.
He basically starts the video off by saying that a lot of people told him to respond to Adopt Me and that he's gonna explain a lot of things and show a lot of information in this video.
I would think it's good to let these claims sit on me without at least giving you somewhat of an in-depth explanation and clearing up some of the lies stated.
So this is exactly what I was trying to say in my own video. I really didn't want to take sides or show bias to either side, especially considering both sides did not get to have their say yet. But that's not to discredit Adopt Me and their side of things, and the same goes for Jeremy. I said exactly this. It would really suck if I sided with Adopt Me and Jeremy turned out to be innocent, just as much as it would really suck if I sided with Jeremy and then Adopt Me turned out to be innocent.
I mean, not only have I been bombarded with hate, death threats, and horrible messages, but so have my friends, my team members from my Discord.
Okay, this is not okay. No matter what anyone may have done, this is never okay, and sending hate and death threats to someone will never ever sit right with me. I think I've made it very clear that I really didn't like seeing Jeremy had purposely told people to go tweet at Josh from the Adopt Me team multiple times, ultimately resulting in many different waves of hate and awful messages being thrown at him, just as much as I don't like the same thing now happening to Jeremy. Although I will mention the difference this time of Adopt Me not purposely telling people to go tweet at Jeremy or anything even close to that. They didn't quite tell people to not send hate, they just really didn't say anything about that.
On February 25th, I made a video titled I Quit Adopt Me. In this video, I voiced my negative opinions and worries about the game.
Again, I've never seen the video in question for myself and I sadly cannot find it, so here it's very difficult to actually know what was said in that video. Was it as bad as Adopt Me is making out to be, or was it just constructive criticism as Jeremy mentions in his response video? I don't really know, and I believe it has been deleted, so I also can't really know.
However, I made a bad comment about Bthink, and in doing so I devalued his work, as I had recently at that time worked with a lot of developers.
Okay, he admits to, I guess, making fun of the work of Bthink, who is one of the members of the Adopt Me team, and tries to justify that by saying that other developers told him that similar work to Bthinks could have been made in an hour or two, but Jeremy goes on to say how he apologized in private.
I was just very wrong to say that. It was a terrible comment.
I mean, I do think it's great that he acknowledges and understands that saying and doing something like that is very wrong, but ultimately you just don't get to justify doing that. Like, even if someone tells you that the work of a developer can easily be reproduced within an hour or so, you just don't go uploading uploading videos talking trash about someone's genuine hard work and effort for no reason.
He willingly involved himself and publicly tweeted about everything instead of taking the professional approach of reaching out to me privately and talking about the situation.
So Jeremy is claiming that no one ever attempted to privately contact him and instead just began publicly tweeting about the issues that they had with what Jeremy had been saying in his videos, which, look, you shouldn't really be saying or doing things like this in videos anyway, but if this is true, then I do believe private contact should have been the first route that Adopt Me took.
After finding out multiple high-profile people in the community had also bought items using a black market website, I decided to try it out and use it as a video.
This is referring to Adopt Me saying that Jeremy bought in-game items for real money outside of the game, and due to no visible proof, I decided not to previously comment on that, but he quite literally just admitted to doing that.
Obviously broke the Adopt Me rules. I should have looked more into that, and there's no excuse to what I did, but I quickly learned my lesson, and I tried to educate viewers on the dangers of doing these things.
He says that this happened back in February and only in February, and has since learned his lesson with doing that, and he knows that it was against the rules and that he shouldn't have done it. He also just goes on to talk about how this was the reason he got so confused the first time he got blocked by Josh on Twitter. They apparently didn't tell him the reason they blocked him was because he went against the terms of service by buying those items, and I still don't agree with the approach of, hey guys, go tweet at this one person and ask him to unblock me, but at the same time, it does appear that the way both sides handled this could have been much, much better.
That's when I made the mistake of trying to encourage people to reach out to the Play.me team and Tactful on Twitter. Definitely not a good message to send across there, but as I kind of mentioned, I was frustrated, but it does not excuse doing that.
He's right. Like, I get being frustrated and all of that, but doing something like that is not at all excusable, just like he said it's not.
The clip was used to highlight the fact that Roblox banned me for breaking TOS by buying Adopt Me items for real money, but I never participated in any actions like that back then.
Roblox has banned Jeremy multiple times so far, and he made videos claiming he had no idea why he was banned.
My Roblox account got banned.
So the video from Adopt Me and the blog post overall was great, and I do still think that they did an incredible job at explaining things and saying what they wanted to say, but a few clips from Jeremy in there were evidently mashed together and some parts didn't quite make sense, so that was kinda interesting. One statement in the blog post from Adopt Me is that Jeremy has never apologized directly to any of us, but in his response video he shows quite a fair few screenshots of him privately apologizing to various members of the Adopt Me team.
And I also mentioned every time not to send hate, like that was the last thing I wanted, and that was never mentioned in these statements.
This section of the response is talking about the 3 videos created directly targeting Josh, and here Jeremy acknowledges the fact that he sent people after Josh, and the hate and harassment was, I guess, indirectly caused by Jeremy.
And I never wanted to have like a hate campaign video or just like a standalone hate video like that, because that would just be a terrible move.
Look, I don't know if it was at all mentioned to not send hate in any of the videos in question here, but even so, to continue doing it 3 times after witnessing the damage done the previous times you had done it, I don't think you should be purposely sending your audience straight to one person directly. And then the remaining 10 minutes of this video is Jeremy just claiming a lot of the things that go against a lot of the claims that Adopt Me had made, and debunking and showing screenshots based on some of the things that Adopt Me had said Jeremy lied about, and frankly quite a lot more interesting stuff. So if you do want to watch the whole response video from Jeremy and check out the few parts that I skipped over, then I will make sure to link that in the description. Throughout this video, my video that is, I really don't know if it seemed like I began to support or condone some things, but that wasn't intentional or premeditated. It was just truly my first initial reaction to what I was watching. I would like to say that I believe both sides of this have said and done things and just handled many different aspects of this very incorrectly. I don't know what to believe in regards to who tried to keep it private and who wouldn't let that happen, but I can imagine it becomes very frustrating when something that could have easily stayed private becomes public, and in order to continue defending yourself, you must keep it public. But like I said last time, I think Adopt Me did a real good job with defending their side and explaining their side in the video they uploaded and in the blog post they made, and honestly I could say the same for this video from Jeremy. I think he actually did a very good job at defending his side, and it really does look like he tried to show a lot of information and prove of some of the things that he said and tried to debunk. Although I am still not taking sides, and this time it's not out of fear of taking the wrong side for it to later be revealed that the other side is innocent. No, this time it's because I believe neither side is right in this. I just kind of think the whole thing could have been prevented, just like both Adopt Me and Jeremy have said, and it could have been handled in a much different and much more efficient way. Again, like both of them have said. But one more time, I really want to make it very clear here that by making this video and my previous video on the situation, I am not exposing anyone or attempting to favour one side over the other. I am simply just commentating on the situation as a whole and just giving my thoughts and opinions on everything that goes down. I also want to say once again, please do not send hate to absolutely anyone that may have been mentioned throughout this video, whether that be the Adopt Me team, Josh from Adopt Me, Jeremy, or quite literally anyone else. You know, not a single one of them deserves any hate, and you guys are smart enough to know that that does not solve anything whatsoever. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the response video to Adopt Me that just came from Jeremy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.